All right, so let's talk about Knock at the Cabin, all right? The new M. Night Shyamalan film. I did not fucking.
I'm releasing Old, and I'm doing all the press for Old, but at the same time, I'm writing this new movie. It's actually a book that I optioned, and I'm adapting it. I'm about halfway through. To be exact, I'm on page 54 of the first draft. It's sitting there right now. It's actually I can feel the moment that I'm on, and I'm a little, what's gonna happen next. I know what the character just said, and something really bad is about to happen right after page 54. So I'm preparing how to execute it. But that's what I'm working on.
I think when I feel a compulsion to see what's going to happen, that I'm not sure what's going to happen, and because I kind of decided to go away from the book in the second half, it was beautiful, that process of going, I wonder how the characters are going to come to terms with this, and is it possible that I could be one-to-one when a decision is made, either way? How will I feel if they said yes or no? So it was really, I can't wait to see how the story ends, And I've become addicted to that in my life. I mean, I'm so lucky that.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
I am so sorry, but this movie sucked. M. Night, you horrible man. You tricked me. You used actors to get me into the seats of the theater to watch your film, and you let me down. Oh my God, this movie was so boring, so borderline, I guess, predictable at a certain point, and then it just culminated into just the reality that, well, you know what? Sometimes shit happens. I mean, man, now I'm not going to say that M. Night isn't a good director, right? I mean, he's made some great movies in the past. No offense, I really liked Old, right? It came out back in 2021, the end of the year. That movie was pretty cool. I mean, it had its ups and downs, but for the most part, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a very interesting film. The twist was great, being on an island, and the island is using this weird time pocket as a facility to try new drugs and things to help with fight diseases and stuff. So I mean, it was an interesting concept, right? I thought that was great. But with Knock at the Cabin, fucking all that shit went out the window. All that intrigue and all that illusion just went straight out the fucking window. Because it was boring, right? So Knock at the Cabin stars these two gay dudes and their little Asian daughter, and it doesn't even matter that they're gay. The fact that they're gay is literally irrelevant. It's so irrelevant. It's hilarious. And the fact that they just are like, it's because we're gay. We're gay. Just so you know, we are gay and we love each other. And just so you know, we're gay. And just so you know, our parents don't really like us because we're gay. Like, there's just so much gay that it just blinds you to what's the point of this film? Is this just to show that gay people can go through life traumatizing events as well? Because everybody knows that they obviously do. But so they're the gay couple and their kid at this cabin, and then all of a sudden Dave Bautista shows up, right? And Dave Bautista is definitely like the star of the show, right? He plays this character Leonard. He's the leader of this group of individuals that are coming
to prevent the apocalypse.
Because for whatever reason, they had a dream that they were supposed to meet up at this certain spot and go to this certain house where this family was going to be there. They didn't know who they were going to be, and the family would have to choose to kill one of their own to prevent the apocalypse. And if they didn't kill one of their own, every time they asked, they would then in turn murder themselves in numeric fashion, only to see what ends up fucking happening, I guess. But man, Rupert Grint was one of the four members, right? One of these horsemen of the apocalypse that they say near the end of the movie, where it turns out I guess they were. But Rupert Grint was like the main reason I wanted to watch this film. It was so cool to have him in a movie. And I was just like, man, I haven't seen him in a while. Like, I'm down to see this fool in action, And I know that Dave Bautista, of course, said he wanted to do more serious roles and shit. So that's awesome. I mean, I give him props to wanting to do serious roles, and I was assuming this was going to be a more serious role, which I guess it was, but like I felt like he was trying not to laugh a lot of the times. I felt like he was acting, but he was also like trying to like as M. Night told him, like, hey, okay, you have to be very serious, okay? And then as he's trying to be serious, M. Night's in the back like smiling at him like, yes, you're being serious. And then Dave Bautista's just like super uncomfortable and like trying not to laugh, but also like more or less uncomfortable trying to be serious. So it's just really random, it's just so random. Anyway, Rupert Grint, being in the movie, he ends up dying within the first 20 minutes of the film. Sorry, spoiler alert, but that shit pissed me off. And I was like, at that point of the movie, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm so done. What's going on? Like, it just happened. Everything was happening too fast without any real context besides dreams. It was just really hard to get behind. Now, again, this whole gay aspect, I find it about as unnecessary as the cameo that M. Night did. Usually M. Night Shyamalan does really weird specific cameos, whereas in this one, he's literally talking about a pot. He's talking about an Instapot or some type of cooking pot, right? And it's he's literally talking about nothing. And it comes on in the most randomest time, and they just show it oh, look, it's M. Night. So if you don't know it's M. Night, you're just what is this? Why am I seeing this? If you know it's M. Night Shyamalan, you're well, why am I seeing this? What is the point in this? It was just such a ridiculous movie. Now, as the apocalypse stuff starts happening, right? As I said, they were oh, one of the family needs to kill each other, one of them, and that will prevent the apocalypse. And then they keep turning on the TV at random points, and all this shit's going down. I have planes falling out of the sky, people dying, some random disease that's spreading. I mean, there's a bunch of things that go down, and then these people are just there, you're just fucking with us. You're obviously not telling the truth. Which, of course, I guess I did like that tension and intrigue of were these 4 people telling the truth? Were they just batshit crazy? Is the apocalypse really happening? Are they just schizophrenic, crazy psychopaths? You're not sure. But as things start happening, you're well, obviously there's some weird shit going on. But at the end of the film, I'm just gonna spoil it because, like I said, I did not like this film. The gay couple one of them ends up killing the other, to save the world, because they assume that this is what needs to happen after all 4 of the horsemen they kill themselves. They end up fulfilling this random prophecy, and then they stop, quote unquote, the apocalypse. But it's just so done. It's dead in the water. It's I forget that I guess he did the movie The Happening with Mark Wahlberg, and I did not like that movie because it was all about the trees. The trees were trying to kill us. It was it was so stupid. But I mean, I guess they do produce oxygen, but it's such a stretch, and I felt that's what this was. It was such a stretch because there's not that much context except for all the gay references and all the gay stuff, where they're it's because we're gay, and it's look, honestly, I'm watching this movie and I don't care that you guys are gay. I thought this was a apocalyptic movie. I thought this was gonna be some crazy suspense movie. It's not because you're gay, okay? It's not because you're gay. Even though the characters literally say we didn't know who was gonna be here, we didn't know, that we didn't know your family, the style of family you have, and it was just so weird. And I honestly think it's because he just did these movies too close to each other. Old was pretty damn good, and I feel maybe after Old, he was you know what, that movie was successful, let's go back to the drawing board and make another one. And then he kind of got the script all rough drafted for Knock at the Cabin. He's this is good, let's just put it into production. He probably should have refined it, retuned it, definitely maybe changed the ending. They should have not killed each other and stayed in love and a couple that will do anything for each other and protect their daughter, and then have the apocalypse happen and have everything go to shit, and then they'd be oh, well, this is our consequence of staying together. But it's at least that would have been more of a fucking meaningful ending, instead of them just losing one of them and then just being all depressed and being well, I guess we saved the world. It's yeah, I guess you did, I guess you fucking did. Even though you hate the world because the world doesn't love you because you're gay, it's you're willing to save the world and kill the man you love. I mean, whatever. But it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting film, but I did not like it. I think it could have been so much better. I think the ending could have been better. I think everything could have just been so much better. Not as many fucking flashbacks and just more dealing with what the fuck was going on. I mean, they should have showed at least flashes of the dreams that all the characters had. They could have showed their previous lives or what they were doing leading up to getting the visions and getting the dreams, instead of just showing it in pictures and the one girl that has the girl she has a kid, her character all of a sudden you find out she has a kid and he finds the picture of the kid, and it's just we could have seen a flashback of her having her kid and having some crazy flash or dream, and then seeing destruction and seeing her son cry and his flesh burning and all this shit. I mean, that would have been so much more intriguing than having her just talk about it. It was damn you, M. Night. Damn you. You got me. I don't know if I'll watch your next film in theaters. I'll definitely probably wait. Sorry, not sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I just didn't fucking like it. So this has been Ghost in the Craig. If you want to check it out, by all means, Knock at the Cabin. Yeah, check it out at your own risk. Guaranteed it might not be exactly all that you were hoping for. But anyway, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.